killers. Open up your head, feel the show shot. This is
Hello YouTube and welcome to Seattle Superspeedway for round number 17 of the MFNSRA Superspeedway Series Season 1. I'm John Dillon and we are here at a new track that has replaced Hogabon on the schedule, and we're going to see how we like the racing here, and that will decide whether we come back next season. Here in Seattle, Washington, the biggest city in northwestern United States. Home of the Seahawks, a Super Bowl favorite for the National Football League. But now 42 drivers are racing in the MFNSRA Superspeedway Series in the first MFNSRA sanctioned race being held at this Superspeedway. So we're excited to get this thing going and have a really fun race. On the pole we have our 12th place pointsman, Nicholas Guerra. Has had a very solid season. Championship, maybe not, but if he can get on a good hot streak, he could definitely be someone to talk about later in the season. And then he starts next to Justin Talampis. Has had some good runs of late. He's back in the top 20 in the standings. And of course, he was the winner at M&M Superspeedway. And then on row 2, we have Brandon Tedisco in the number 39. He has 2 poles this season, but his finishing results have been absolutely horrible. So he's looking to have a good run here today at Supercell Seattle, and we'll see how he does. He starts next to Diego Ospina, 9th in the standings. Another driver maybe to watch out for as we get down to the stretch run of our first season. Here's the rest of your starting lineup here from Seattle. Well, of course, this is a new track. We've every other track that's left on the schedule, we've gone to. It's actually hula hoop. We're gonna have to give you another look at that, but we're gonna take some time to talk about this track. This is a 2 1/4 mile racetrack, so it's a bit shorter than Daytona. So therefore, it's 4 more laps than our first race of the season, and so yeah, that's the length of the track. You can see the pavement is rather worn out here, so. That'll make for some great racing. And this track will remind you of Darlington almost, and you'll see why.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's the command. So the engines have fired for these 42 Generation 6 race cars, and they're about to head onto the pace lap here behind Nicholas Guerra and Justin Talampis. Now, yeah, you can see here they go off into the corner. You can see it's banked and it's very narrow. There's not a lot of grip lanes. You can see where there's grip and you can see where there's not. So it does kind of remind you of Darlington, where the grip lanes are around the top of the track and there's very little room for error around here at Seattle. It's a bit wider, but with the restrictor plates on the cars, we're surely expect to have a great race here today. So here we go. Coming to take the green flag here from Seattle Superspeedway. Guerra and Talampis will bring him down. The flag stand is down in turn 1, so you can see the whole front stretch you have to battle for the win here. Green flag in the air from Seattle Superspeedway. Round number 17 is green. Here they head off into turn 1. Guerra gets a good jump. Tedisco and Carlisle, a couple of Hendrick-powered Chevys, pushing their way past Justin Talampis. Here as they go through 1 and 2, 3 wide behind him. Four wide down to turn 3. You see some guys trying the bottom, maybe to slide up. You can see that that's going to be a problem. If you go too high, you'll get one of those stripes that we like to call the Darlington stripe at Darlington. I don't know if we want to call this one the Seattle stripe, but we'll be seeing a lot of them today. And Hayden Klein and Chris Warner started 8th and 10th, respectively, today, and they've both gotten a piece of the wall in turn 3 and 4 already. in the early going. Here's Brandon Tedesco pushing his way out front. Here's they come off turn 2. Oh, contact! That's Andrew Schwartz in our points leader, and around Hayden Klein in the back. No caution. Hayden Klein spins into the inside wall. Yeah, there's Seth Carlisle. He just got the wall as well. But we saw Andrew Schwartz bouncing around like a pinball mid-pack. Here they come off, and you see Mark Edwards may have made some contact as well. He's fallen behind. Here's Derek Umstadt in the 56. He's had some good races. He's been as low as 40th in the standings, but and you can see that I think they're wrecking. There they go. Andrew Schwartz, the points leader, spins into the inside wall. And a huge setback for Schwartz, who has had 2 really good runs, including the win at Daytona. Only had a 5-point cushion over CJ Sorensen. That cushion should be swept away here at Seattle. There were definitely a lot of unknowns coming into today, and we already have two cars spun off into the infield off of turn 2. Neither of them have brought out a caution, but certainly a huge hit for Andrew Schwartz in the points. He runs dead last here at Seattle. You can see it's been spread out because of all the cars hitting the wall, cars losing momentum. So once the pack gets all joined together, it'll probably just happen again where they get spread out, and we'll just be seeing different cars all race long. There's Tedesco collecting the outside wall in turn 4. And you see all these cars trying to make their way towards the front here today. You could see that the inside is the preferred line, but this track is very loose, very little grip, and it's easy to lose control. Alex Tanker in the 29 car moving out front. He's wanted a low grip track, Columbia Superspeedway, another track where you're really sliding around a lot, but still in the gas the whole time. And Alex Tanker looking to get his 2nd win of the season. There is Diego Ospina in the 42. He comes in 9th in the points, like we mentioned. Started on the outside of row 2. He's doing a nice job so far. There's Dylan Young, 8th in the standings. He is 69 points out of the lead, but with Andrew Schwartz having that problem, and I don't think unless there's some more incidents, Andrew Schwartz is going to finish dead last in this race. And this is the last thing that he needed. He had a ton of momentum coming into this race. In fact, he qualified 8th. But Schwartz out early. Well, out of contention anyway, not out of the race entirely. You see a few of our champion, or maybe top 10 guys in the standings up here. Dylan Schwallenberg, 2 horrible races in a row. Daytona and 8 Bowl. He's dropped from 2nd to 7th in that span, and comes in 56 points out of the lead. But like we mentioned, Schwartz running last, Schwallenberg racing for the win. This should be a huge boost to car 20 season. Look at all the cars against the wall there. There's Dylan Young. He's another guy trying to put himself back in championship talks like he was when he got his first win of the season at Pigs Creek. There's Eric Burton in the 55 having a good run today. Pushing himself to the lead in the RK Motors Toyota. I haven't said that a lot. Eric Burton having a good run, but he got a top 5 at Daytona earlier this season. But not much else has gone right for this 55 team this season. There's Schwallenberg going for the lead. And speaking of, talk about teams with things going right. How about that guy following Schwallenberg? Zach Buchanan in the 31. And he's pushing he's pushing Schwallenberg out front here. Okay, I just did some things to get the frames, the FPS up, so this should be better than you saw there in 1 and 2. Anyway, yeah, this is definitely going to be a lot better. Nicholas Guerra in the 34, Peanut Patch 4th, the pole sitter for today's race. We mentioned he's trying to get himself back into the top 10 in points, where he has been most of the season here with that Front Row Motorsports team. But he's running inside of his teammate, who has just been horrendous in the past few races. He's been as high as, I believe, 4th in the standings, but he comes into this race 30th, Colin McNaught in the 35. So McNaught looking to pick up the pace a bit here today. And there's Schwallenberg in the outside wall. He's got to make as much points as possible, and a main reason is because of that guy right there. Wes McCall, the 13, comes in 4th in the standings after a top 10 run, actually a second place run at 8 Bowl. But you talk about Schwartz having the points lead. He only had a 5-point cushion over CJ Sorensen, and CJ's started 41st today in that 14, so he's kept the car out of trouble and has put himself up in the top 10. There's Guerra and McNaught both clipping the wall. These guys have done a nice job keeping off each other for the most part. We've only had 2 real incidents so far, and that was Hayden Klein, the 12, and Andrew Schwartz in the 44. And now Stephen Kimball in the 33 going for the lead. Kimball, another guy that could gain a ton of ground here today in championship-wise. Stephen Kimball comes in 5th in the standings in that American Ethanol Chevy. Like we said, he got off to a horrible start. We've said it so many times, but he's come alive in mid-season and has put himself 5th in the standings. And with the problems that Schwartz has today, Kimball only 43 points out of the lead. If Kimball could win today and Schwartz finishes last, he's only 1 point behind Schwartz. But the problem is CJ Sorensen and Wes McCall are having good days as well. And now Kimball's lost the lead and is losing more spots as well. There's Ospina. He took the lead for a moment. Here comes Charles Jackson looking for his 3rd win of the season in that 32 car. Definitely not in championship talks. He's 17th in the standings, 53. He came in 108 points out of the lead. So championship not likely for the 32 this season, but right now he's racing for wins. And how about Daniel Day? He's making his 2nd career start here in the series. Didn't have a good run at 8 Bowl. He finished 36th out of the race. Collected in a lot of other people's mess. That was a crazy wreck. And Daniel Day ended up flipping a couple times. But Daniel Day looking to have a rebound here. Of course, last in the points, but he's just going for wins here for the last 9 races now. There's Jacob Kraus on the 26. He got out to a great start to the season. Looked to be a threat for the championship with the win at Daytona. But he has dropped to 32nd, I believe, in the standings. And it's just not been good for that Swan Racing team. This Mark Matthews in the 27. Has not had a good season. He's 34th coming into this race. Like that guy right there, he's just racing for wins. Brandon Tedisco, Luke Walker, Florida Lottery on the car for the first time this season. Pretty much everyone here in this front 6, back to CJ Sorensen, is just racing for wins. But look, there's Andrew Schwartz off the pace with heavy rear end damage after backing it into the wall on lap 3 of today's race. Schwartz is just trying to hang on, hoping other things can happen. And Schwartz is just a tough break for Schwartz. This is not of his doing. We're going to go back at the end of the race and see exactly what happened to Schwartz. But this is definitely, it's not going to take him out of championship contention, but it's certainly going to take away some confidence heading into the final stretch of the season. Mark Matthews out front. Here comes Brandon Tedisco on the bottom. 2 guys that came into the season, or didn't start the season, I should say, but came in as replacements. Brandon Tedisco came in at Coca-Cola Superspeedway race number 6 in place of Austin Ogo and Daniel Day. Now Ospina gets in between both of them, and Daniel Day, he replaced Daniel Voiles in the last race. So yeah, Daniel Day especially, he would like to just get a good run. That's all he needs. Just a top 10, I think, would satisfy him in his 2nd race. And that's the goal here. Just get some good runs in. There's CJ Sorensen in the wall. That's not what he needs. He wants to make he wants to get as big of a points lead on Andrew Schwartz here. And there's Schwartz a lap down, but passing him. That's not for position, like we mentioned. Okay, frames are terrible on this track. I mean, it's almost like once I get... Alright, every once in a while, I'm just going to have to stop recording once the frames get bad and I can restart. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. But hopefully not towards the end of the race. We made it halfway, all green. A couple minor incidents involving that guy there, which they're about to lap. Hayden Klein and Andrew Schwartz, our points leader. But it's been a clean race, lots of good racing going on. But Mark Matthews has really taken the lead and is really not looked back. He's been oh, there you go, big wreck. Arnold Columbia slides to the bottom, collecting Luke Walker. That's Colin McNaught in the 35. More bad luck for the 35. Oh, I think they're wrecking up here some more. Cars hitting the wall. It sounded like a lot more, but that looks to be all it was. Mark Matthews comes back to the caution with the lead. Chris Summers has some damage. He must have gotten turned. This is going to be a good opportunity for us to go back and look over all the incidents that have happened. And it looks like, I guess Chris Summers might have had another one. So we're going to check what happened to Hayden Klein first and then the other incidents that happened. Well, this is going to be a race Hayden Klein wants to forget. And I just found out that the caution actually didn't come out. And I do not know how it did not come out. But we're just going to pause there. And now we're going to go back and see the incidents. Here's Hayden Klein on the outside. This is just going to be a race to forget. He qualified 6th, bounces off the wall right into Evan Earnhardt. Pretty much his doing there. And Hayden Klein slides into the inside wall. So tough break for Hayden Klein. Had a good qualifying run, but not a good race. Let's go see what happened to Andrew Schwartz. Well, this is going to be the race where that Andrew Schwartz is going to want to forget. Schwartz qualified 8th in this 44 car. Same thing that happened to Hayden Klein. Got into the outside wall, bounces off into Austin LaPlante in the 16. Pretty much the same tire tracks as Hayden Klein too. So turn 2, a trouble spot for those guys early on, and Schwartz is going to back it into the inside wall, and that right there is what's going to cost Andrew Schwartz the points lead here today at Seattle Superspeedway. And definitely not what Andrew wanted. He's probably going to finish last as well. So let's see what happened to Chris Summers. Well, what happened to Summers actually happened before what happened to Andrew Schwartz. Okay, see here, Summers. He got into the wall in turn 1, and he never got out of the wall. And then he's going to come off the wall here in turn 2, and nothing Adam Smith could have done there. So Summers got rear end damage and eventually just lost pace with the other cars that he was racing against. Well, just like the incidents at the beginning of the race, it's just a matter of bouncing off the wall, and Luke Walker running a higher line, bounces off into Mason Rothgeb in the 11. I believe that's Eric Burton in the 55. Yeah, that got collected there. Maybe that was Jake Williams. I think they're running identical paint schemes today. But, yeah, just tough break for a lot of those guys, just innocent bystanders. Columbia, the 35 of McNaught. Just the high line, just no grip up there, and you can't, and just straight into the wall you go out of turn 2. So that's what happened there, and let's go back and catch up with the leaders. Yeah, the caution never came out, so we're still racing. I don't know how. I'm really confused. Anyway, there's Seth Carlisle in the 5 car moving to the inside of Diego Ospina. It's been a rough season for Carlisle. Really nothing, not many bright spots at all in that 5 car season. Oh, there's a guy right there who just needs to win. Austin LaPlante in the 16. He's run so well at so many races. He looked to be the favorite to win. Ricky Raceway, Hartlepool, Bump Draft, and the list just goes on for the 16 team, and just hasn't been able to pull it off. Maybe he could do it today. at Seattle. Well, now it finally looks like someone's been able to challenge Mark Matthews for the lead. Seth Carlisle, can he clear him? Yes, he will. But now he's got a challenge from Daniel Day. That 27 was really fast in clean air. Let's see who the fastest laps have been run by. That 26 right there, Jacob Kraus has run the fastest lap. And Seth Carlisle's also run fast laps. But Mark Matthews just looked unbeatable when he had clean air to his nose. But Carlisle was finally able to dive under him and take the lead. And now there's two Roush cars. Here comes LaPlante with a nice slingshot move in the middle of 1 and 2. That's a great move by LaPlante. That's a move that works very well at this racetrack here in Seattle. And he's going to get the lead here. Here they go down to 3. Look at Charles Jackson. He got those left sides on the apron there. There's Carlisle scraping the outside wall. Oh, almost Luke Martin and Alex Tanker. They were so close to each other right there. Nice job to keep it together and not have a wreck. There's Daniel Day looking for the lead in that 17-second career race. He's done a spectacular job in this NOS Energy Ford. But he's got a challenge from the guy who's run the fastest lap today, Jacob Kraus of the 26. Charles Jackson following him up through the pack. Here comes Jacob Lawler in the 51. And now LaPlante cuts down under his teammate. And now Jackson has no help. He might get passed on the outside here off into turn 1. He's got no cars following him. And you can see he got passed on the outside by a few cars. Let's see how that 26 does with the clean air to his nose. We haven't talked about him being out front at all today. But he's been running near the front, top 10 pretty much all race long. There's Johnny Gardner in the 18. He got into the outside wall in the 18. There's Mark Matthews in the 27. He had a very fast car. When he got out front, he led about, I guess, 7 laps. And then he lost it to Seth Carlisle. And here comes another slingshot move by the 16. LaPlante looks like he's going to be able to complete it here off turn 2. Down the backstretch. Brandon Tedisco in the 39 car. He's been running really well today. Started on the inside of row 2 and just kind of been lurking, really. And he's done. Now he wants to go up there and challenge for the lead. And give Stewart Haas Racing if the 39 goes to victory lane, all 3 of the Stewart Haas cars have gone to victory lane. Chris Warner picked up the win at Hartlepool, and then we had CJ Sorensen getting the second Pigs Creek win. And I tell you what, those 7 bonus points that CJ Sorensen got in that race, they have come a long way, and they're definitely going to help tonight. Here comes Tedisco. He's gotten past LaPlante, as did Daniel Day, but now Tedisco's on the inside of Daniel Day. I don't know if he's going to have enough of a push to be able to get him in turn 1. Maybe. Now Jacob Lawler cuts to the bottom with a huge run. Off the outside, made a nice move to get to the bottom in front of Jacob Kraus. And he's going to help Brandon Tedisco get to the lead. Next time by, 5 laps to go. There's Jacob Kraus in the 26. He got his left sides on the apron a bit. We've seen that out of a few cars today. There's Dylan Schwallenberg, like we mentioned earlier, in need of a good run here today. It's not been he's had 2 or 3 bad races that have dropped him low in the standings. And with Andrew Schwartz running dead last right now, actually I think Hayden Klein. Yeah, Schwartz has passed Klein on the racetrack to move to 41st. But if things stand where they are, Andrew Schwartz will only get 2 points to his credit here tonight, Seattle. Here comes Alex Tanker. We saw him at the beginning. We haven't seen him since in that Jimmy John Chevy, but he's moving up now. Jacob Lawler out front. Here we go, coming to 4 to go. Tedisco with a run off the outside. Following. That's 2 Hendrick-powered cars. Out front, look at Dob Capps swing from the outside all the way to the bottom. Nice move by the Wood Brothers Ford there Dom Cass comes in 6th in the points, so he's another guy that could capitalize on this bad night by Andrew Schwartz. Mentioned a lot of them today. I'm not sure that Schwartz likes that. Here comes Tedisco. To the inside. Boy, Daniel Day, he just never disappears from the front of this field. He's got this track figured out, I think. There's another, that's Chris Summers in the 48. He is off the pace. We saw him with damage before. 3 wide for the lead with 3 laps to go. Tedisco hits the gas in the middle. Nice job by Brandon Tedisco. That was he hit the gas in the middle of the turn, was able to stick his nose out in front. 4 wide behind him. Now Kraus pulls back in line. Here we go, 2 laps to go. Brandon Tedisco, Craftsman Car Series veteran for Stewart Haas Racing out front. We got cars in the wall, cars all trying to get up there and get the best position that they can. 2 laps to go from Seattle. And Tedisco's actually pulling a bit of a lead out on Alex Tanker, but I think he'll be able to close that up, and they're going to have a lot of momentum coming up on him here down the backstretch. Here comes Tanker. Right to the back bumper of Brandon Tedisco. Now we're about to come to the white flag. Tanker looks to the inside. Can he get there? Tanker looking for his 2nd win of the season. Daniel Day, Luke Martin working together on the bottom. Here we go, coming to take the white flag. Tedisco out in front. Now they're coming up on Summers and around Stephen Kimball in the back. One of the championship contenders. White flag is out for Brandon Tedisco. That's really going to kill Stephen Kimball's championship chances here. Well, here we go, down into turn 3. Alex Tanker, can he get to the inside of Tedisco and get a run down the front? Look at Mark Matthews. Hits the gas in the center. He pulls up alongside his teammate. That might give Tedisco the win. Here they come down the front stretch. Brandon Tedisco will come down and win at Seattle. What a win for Brandon Tedisco, and we've had a huge crash in turn 1. Dylan Schwallenberg collected, and this might end any hopes of a championship for the Joe Gibbs Racing driver. Look at all the cars that were collected, and there's Stephen Kimball. He was having such a good run today. He was gonna gain a ton of ground. 34th. He's only gonna gain, I guess, 7 points on Andrew Schwartz. Not good for the 33 team. It's gonna be a huge hit for him. Dylan Young as well. Finished 31st. Man, this well, it got crazy in the last laps. Oh, Wes McCall, he was collected in it. 28th for McCall. That's where he finished. Oh gosh, a lot of cars stuck on pit road. There's Charles Jackson and Jacob Lawler. These two were leading the race earlier. Let's see what happened here. Well, everyone wants to get a good result today, and some just didn't get that good result. And Stephen Kimball, unfortunately, one of them. And this is Johnny Gardner off the wall, down in front of Hayden Klein, down into Stephen Kimball. What a tough break for that 33 team. Like I mentioned, they were having a great run and got collected. I'm gonna. Oh, what the heck? What happened to the 12 car? Klein got hit by Johnny Gardner coming off of turn 4, but he was running dead last. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at this from another. What the heck happened to this 12 car? He was off the pace and then he just clogged up the racing line pretty much, and all these cars coming at 20, 30 miles an hour faster all of a sudden, and he cuts down in front of Dylan Schwallenberg. Oh, man, and then Schwallenberg couldn't do anything, slides up, collects many other cars, including Jacob Lawler, Zach Buchanan, the winner from a race ago, Wes McCall in the 13. This is not going to help him close very much on Andrew Schwartz. Let's see the full results here from Seattle. Okay. So now here is the finishing results. Brandon Tedisco. Now all 3 Stewart Haas racing cars have gone to victory lane, so a huge win for Brandon Tedisco in this 39 team. This is what they needed to get their confidence up. Tedesco got the lead in the late laps, qualified third, ran well all day, came home with the win. Mark Matthews and Alex Tanker, a couple of Childress cars, came second and third. Daniel Day, Jacob Kraus. Daniel Day, second start, gets fourth. Good run for him. And as you look down the list, Diego Ospina, one of our championship contenders, got a top 10, as well as Dom Capps. Those two guys could definitely put themselves into contention if they can get some more, if they could string some good runs together, and especially when Andrew Schwartz finishes 41st. But Evan Earnhardt 21st. He where did CJ? Oh, CJ 24th. I mean, Schwartz, the cars that were right behind him, CJ finishes 24th. Evan Earnhardt, not a great run for him. We didn't really see him all day. Finished 21st. Wes McCall 28th. Stephen Kimball 34th. I mean, it's just going to be a huge point shakeup with this 44 car getting only 2 points. And you're about to see the point shakeup and a burnout from Brandon Tedesco. And next time out, we'll see you at Bump Draft and Superspeedway. Remember last time we were there under the lights, we had a 4-wide finish. So, yeah, very excited for that. And we'll see you next time. 8 races left in the championship. Let's see how the points shake up.